I'm like, listen, you little cunt.
Yeah.
I smoked your mom up with weed that I transported from the U.S. as private shelf weed in my pussy.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you make your potions, master.
This is like but it's like
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, only instead of Kevin Bacon, it's your asshole. Watson, I need you. Can you hear me? I'm on the clit phone. I'm talking to you live from the clit phone.
This alcohol is everything.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
To Let's Kill Ourselves, episode 3. We might be talking about homunculi today. I am your host, Lord Haw-Haw.
And I'm Tokyo Kuntpunch. Pew, pew. Does misery look good on me? Does it look good, or should I have a drink?
I think you should have a drink.
Okay, let's bring the fucking alcohol.
Okay.
Life, it's not, the journey is the ultimate destination. It's not how you get there. It's how many guys you have to fuck and suck along the way.
All right.
I came up with that one today.
Well, you know, our wisest modern philosopher, Sheryl Crow, once said that every day is a winding road. And I say it every morning and then wake up in the mirror. I say it because it's so true. It's so true. You know?
In the words of Walt Whitman,
Yeah.
I tramp my perpetual journey.
Does that mean you fucked a hobo? What does that mean? Do you know what a homunculus is?
No.
What do you think it is?
It's like a hummus munch sandwich.
That sounds pretty good. No, it is not that. A homunculus is kind of like a creature that an alchemist or a sorcerer, black magician maybe, and I mean like black magic, not like there aren't really any black like African American magicians that I can think of. I'm talking about like dark sorcery, necromancy, what have you. You would make it's like a Frankenstein's monster. Somebody just said in the chat, they said Tokyo Kuntpunch looks angelic tonight, like a beautiful but rabid angel.
Well, you might just get a titty shot if you keep that up.
It's a cross between Frankenstein's monster and the gingerbread man from Shrek. So it's like a little being that you create that's then your little imp, like, I'm going to help you make your potions, master. And he's maybe like, he's maybe like this big, like a little imp that you create.
Can we talk about my asshole for a sec?
Your asshole?
Yeah.
Welcome to Los Angeles, kids. Welcome to the show.
Okay, also, you telling me that my...
What?
Yeah, self-loathing in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. So what about your asshole? You bleached it or something? What were you talking
No,
about?
but I totally should. If I want to look as good as J. Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence.
Thank you. I extrapolated.
Well,
anyway, yeah, go ahead.
It was weird. The last guy that fucked me in the ass is connected. The last guy that fucked me in the ass, like, over a year ago, the guy's 23, is connected to the guy that just recently fucked me in the ass by this chick that I think I sent you her Instagram. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to say any names.
This is like...
But it's like
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, only instead of Kevin Bacon, it's your asshole.
And I don't do anal. I mean, that's all. Number one thing I tell guys: hey, listen, this is a deal breaker. Listen, nothing in the ass but a finger or a tongue. I say that in my song. It's in my song. But like I said, this guy scares me in the sense that like I literally would. I feel like I would do almost anything for him. Like I feel bad when I like tell him how I truly feel about things. I'm like, is this okay? Like, But it's weird because he he fucks with this chick who is the ex of this dude. So like this chick, by the way, she's also got that icy quality to her that you think is so hot. I think it's hot as well. It's like it's like this chick might fucking slit someone's throat and like just keep walking.
Or like this chick might give me up at birth, maybe. Who knows?
Oh, exactly. We love that shit.
Yep.
Although, like, recently I've been so perturbed by cock that I switched all my settings in Bumble and Tinder to women. But then I just, like, switched back yesterday because I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, none of these girls are going to want to fuck with me. But I do sometimes, like, I watch scissoring in porn. And that kind of gets me off. But, like, when I used to fuck these girls, like, I used to, like, lay on top of them and I would just, like, kind of grind on them until I came. They never came.
Well, let me ask you a quick question first, though.
Yeah.
Do you have any female friends?
God, that is the saddest question anyone has ever asked me.
You just seem like the type that probably has mostly, if not all, male friends. You know?
Do you have a gun around here? Because, like...
So, yeah, for those of the kids at home that I may not have been totally clear about this, Tokyo Kuntpunch hooks up with guys in the same way that, like, gay guys hook up with guys. In that, like, there's no date or anything. It's just like, come over. And we'll fuck and then
we'll see if I live.
Yeah.
We'll see if this fucking is a news story or not.
Yeah, see if you.
I mean, honestly, that some shit did happen.
Dismembered and walked out of your apartment in a suitcase.
Oh my god! So this guy was telling me about how his sister was brutally raped, strangulated, and murdered by some like homeless people that live over by the Venice Cliffs in Venice. Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah, and I kept looking at his face when he was telling me this story, and I'm like, are you gonna like basic instinct my shit? Are you about to like pull out a knife and like fucking end this misery for me? When I was fucking that boy in Copenhagen, I remember it was like May, and we were in his tiny little loft at his parents' house, and it's so light out there. It's light most of the time. It's like dark for like 2 hours, you know, from like 3 to 5 a.m. or whatever. And I remember all these birds were chirping, and I felt like it was the universe like giving us its blessing that we were together.
Okay.
Because we'd had a really nice night.
Why do birds suddenly appear?
But it wasn't.
Meow, meow, meow.
He kicked me out.
See, that you managed to ruin on your own.
I'm like, listen, you little cunt.
Yeah.
I smoked your mom up with weed that I transported from the U.S.'s private shelf weed in my pussy.
So this is I don't know, the first time I've been on a date in over a year, I guess. And we're talking, and you know, she's like, "Oh, write down your podcast in my notebook." And I wrote down my number. She's like, "Oh, good, you know, I was hoping you'd give me your number." And I was like, "Hey, it's cool." And then like that evening, I'm like, she's not gonna call me. Like somehow I just knew she wasn't gonna call me, even though it hadn't even been a day. And I fell into a deep depression for several days. It triggered me. And it wasn't really anything about her. Just I could be triggered by anything.
Right.
Sometimes a dog will look at me in a weird way on the street, and then I'll just be like, I'll just be in the fetal position for 2 days.
You're a walking trigger receptor.
Uh-huh. I fucking know it.
Mm-hmm.
That's I'm a walking cum dumpster and a trigger receptor. That just sounds like a euphemism for cum dumpster.
Hey, I'm a little cum slut,
yeah,
so you know you're in good company. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, cumslave.org over here. Hey, all right there. Yeah, so then I was like, oh, all sad or whatever. And then I was like, all right, well, who cares? I don't care. And then she called me like weeks later, and she texted me, but then she called me because she has like a flip phone or something. It's kind of interesting, like a flip phone.
Clip phone.
A clip phone. Yeah. Watson, I need you. Can you hear me? I'm on the clit phone. I'm talking to you live from the clit phone.
This alcohol is everything.
Yeah.
So did you get in there all up in that ass?
I got so far, as far as I could get from being in that acid. That's where I was. I was like, I was on the precipice of getting none. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nancy Drew and the precipice of getting
God, you
none.
love that word. She might just be waiting for you to maul her. You don't know.
You know what? In the age, first of all, I don't like to fuck anybody on first date. I don't like to do it because it's always, sex is always bad.
I always fuck on the first date.
I'm not gonna like get fucking fresh. I'm not gonna get grabby or something because I don't care.
Now don't you get fresh?
Yeah, I don't care enough to try to be like that. She was, for a second, she hesitated to bring me to your apartment, and I was like, you don't have to worry about me because I really don't give a shit. And she's like, okay, yeah,
that's like your number one move.
That.
That's
like
how you
fucking
fucking get the
my
ladies.
Signature wrestling move.
I think she digs you. I
just
think
need
she
to-
totally digs you to bring you over and give you fucking cocaine. Like, that's not normally how that works. Like, normally it's like the guy that's got to have the cocaine. Meanwhile, she's here like sharing with you. I think that's really cute.
Yeah, I figured it's a better way to go to just be friends with an interesting, useful person. Because friends, I tend to keep them for life. You know, friendships are more important to me these days than getting laid.
I had dinner with Judd Apatow and, you know, Jeff Garlin and fucking Pete Holmes that one night.
Who's Keith Holmes?
Pete.
Oh,
Pete.
that asshole. Ugh. I saw that show Crashing, and it's like, is he supposed to be a Mormon? Like, I don't understand. Like, he's like, oh, I don't have sex, or like, I don't get it. I don't get what he's supposed to be. Is he supposed to be a Mormon or a fundamentalist Christian, or is he supposed to be like a 10-year-old trapped in the body of a man? Like, I don't understand what he's supposed to be. Is he some kind of, you know? He's like the kid from the Davy and Goliath Christian claymation show or something, but he's an adult. I don't get it. It upsets me just thinking about it because I don't understand it. We're seriously considering just fucking like punching Judd Apatow in the balls.
He hates him so much. Voldemort told me to take my other heel, the one that wasn't broken, driving it through his skull.
Yeah, I hate that fucker.
He hates him. He hates Bill Cosby. No, not Bill Cosby. He thinks
What's wrong with Bill Cosby? What did he ever do to anybody?
No, not Bill Cosby. I ran into Judd and he recognized me from that dinner. And so like I shook his hand and I stopped myself from doing like all the other things I do when I shake people's hands. And I was like, I have a joke about you, but I have to run. And he goes, tell me later. I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I just like French exited him because like I just couldn't find him, and like I figured it was better to just have some time to come up with a great joke about him later.
No, a French exit is when you're on your knees and you're eating out a dude's asshole, and then you reach around and sort of rub his cock like a trombone, right? Isn't that what a French exit is?
Am I talking about an Irish exit? Because I feel like there's a lot of confusion. And literally that night I thought about like, you know what? I feel like if I just had a gun around, I would feel better about all my suicidal thoughts. Like just knowing that I could kill myself, like I could do it. If I just had a gun around, like I would feel like less depressed.
Well, I had dinner with celebrities and now I'm sad. Well.
Do you ever feel that way though? Like you ever have a gun, or like, do you have a gun?
No, if I did, I would be dead.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have one. You know?
Yeah. I mean, celebrities, they do fuck me up. I get starstruck by them in a way I wish I wouldn't, but
that's
like I always
from here.
I always have a come down that is like so fucking gnarly. There was like our first episode, you were talking about how like my parents are rich and just act nice and they'll help them. Like, can we just make sure all of our listeners know I slept in my car for 6 months and got no help? Like my parents, as they told me, paid off the mortgage on their house with whatever little money they had after the taxes was taken out on this building. I mean, don't roll your eyes at me. I see none of this money.
If there was a way I could make a noise while I rolled my eyes.
Do you think I would be doing what I'm doing if my parents, like, I'm not a trust fund kid. Like, I am the farthest thing from a trust fund kid. So, like, please don't implicate me like that. That does bother me.
You're going to get something when they die, you know?
No, I'm probably not, because they're going to live forever, and they're probably going to go through whatever savings they have.
But you make it sound like they just sold like they sold an apartment building for like $5 million.
Yeah, in a shitty part of town infested with homeless people.
LA, though,
they got rid of 40% of it, and then they took care of my big sister, who's 14 years older than me. Let's hear this Homunch.
There's a famous alchemist named Paracelsus, who's famous because, alchemists were sort of like ancient chemists. Some of his scientific ideas were dead on, but he had a lot of kooky ideas too. He was like alchemy, alchemists back in the day, in the Renaissance, they were kind of a cross between a scientist and a fucking sorcerer, I
had to piss like a fucking racehorse, so read this shit.
All right. So he had a formula for producing a homunculus that he published in one of his books. Okay. And this is because they believed that the impetus of creating life was not with the woman, but with the man. They believed that the sperm was the necessary thing. And that's why a lot of them were afraid of like jerking off and just leaving the semen somewhere, because they were afraid it could turn into like a little beastie. So here it is. If the sperm enclosed in a hermetically sealed glass is buried in horse manure for about 40 days and properly magnetized, it begins to live and to move. After such a time, it bears the form and resemblance of a human being, but it will be transparent and without a corpus. If it is now artificially fed with the Arcanum sanguinis hominis, which I think is some kind of like magical horse blood or something, until it is about 40 weeks old, and if allowed to remain during that time in the horse manure and a continually even temperature, it will grow into a human child, with all its members developed like any other child, such as may have been born of a woman, only it will be much smaller. We call such a being a homunculus, and he may be raised and educated like any other child until he grows older and obtains reason and intellect, and he's able to take care of himself. This is one of the greatest secrets, and it ought to remain a secret until the days approach when all secrets will be known.
I feel like a lot of socks have born homunculi.
I know, right? Yeah.
I mean, they probably rule the planet.
Yeah.
A secret society.
It's like you can make an army of cum rag monsters.
All those missing socks that we all wonder about have probably gotten together somewhere near the Earth's core, probably ruling and running everything.
No, that's a sequel to Gremlins I really want to see.